Imagine a place isolated from the world, where silence is so deep you can hear your own heartbeat. Picture an old, decaying farm. Its empty windows stare back at you like hollow eyes. A place where shadows seem to move on their own, and the ground itself seems to whisper secrets. This is the story of the farm, a place left behind by time and hidden from the world. It was supposed to be a family's dream, but instead, it turned into a nightmare. Some say the land itself is cursed, that the past refuses to let go. Would you dare to explore a place like this? Could you stay in a place with such a dark history, knowing what might be? Some say the farm sits miles away from the nearest town, nestled in a valley that few ever visit. The main house stands in ruins, its roof caved in and its walls cracked, while the barns are filled with broken beams and rusting farm tools. An eerie silence lingers over the place, broken only by the occasional creak of wood or rustling leaves. The Thompsons, the family who lived here, were well-liked but kept to themselves. The farm was their refuge, but they struggled with one tragedy after another. Their young daughter died in an accident in the fields, a loss that broke Mrs. Thompson's heart. Friends tried to reach out, but she withdrew, spending her nights in the barn, where she claimed she could still feel her daughter's presence. Then one day, the Thompsons disappeared. The townspeople searched but found no trace of them. Only the farm remained, abandoned and silent. What would you do if you discovered a place like this, a place filled with memories of those who vanished without a trace? Over the years, curious souls ventured to the farm, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious shadows and strange sounds people talked about. Most left with stories of strange happenings that seemed too real to be imagined. A local journalist reported hearing footsteps following him as he walked through the barn, even though no one else was there. Then there was the couple that camped near the farmhouse, thinking it would be an adventure. They awoke in the middle of the night to hear a child's laughter echoing around them. But when they looked outside, no one was there. The next morning they found tiny footprints leading from the barn to their tent. Yet no child had been on the property for years. A researcher later discovered that the footprints matched those of a child, about the age of the Thompsons' young daughter. Would you stay if you knew something was watching you, even if you couldn't see it? Could you ignore the signs and convince yourself it was all in your head? Digging deeper into the farm's past, people uncovered heartbreaking details. Mrs. Thompson was said to be kind-hearted, and her daughter meant everything to her. After her daughter's death, it was as if part of her had died too. She'd often go into the fields at dusk, calling out her daughter's name, hoping for a response. Some say they still see her figure in the fields, wandering with her arms outstretched, as if looking for something she'd lost. People have tried to approach, but she always disappears, like a shadow dissolving in the fading light. The Thompsons' friends said Mr. Thompson was equally affected by grief. He began acting strangely, spending hours alone in the cellar, whispering to someone who wasn't there. Some claim he was trying to contact his daughter, hoping she might still be with them somehow. One night, townsfolk heard screams coming from the farm. When they arrived, there was nothing but silence, and the Thompsons were gone. Could grief and pain be so powerful they leave a permanent mark on a place? Do you think a love so strong could truly keep spirits lingering, unable to move on? Many believe that the Thompsons' spirits are still there, trapped in the place where they endured so much loss. Visitors report feeling a chilling presence, a heaviness in the air, as if someone is watching them from just out of sight. Some hear whispers, fragments of conversation that fade as soon as they try to listen closely. There are those who claim to have seen a young girl's shadow playing in the fields, her laughter carried by the wind. Others feel the icy touch of an unseen hand when they walk near the barn, as though someone were trying to reach out. A paranormal investigator spent the night on the farm and claimed that just before dawn, he saw a figure standing in the window of the farmhouse, a woman in a tattered dress, her face hidden by shadows. When he approached, she vanished, but later, in his photographs, he saw her, a blurred, ghostly image at the edge of the frame. Would you be able to stand your ground in a place like this? Could you face what you cannot see, or would fear get the better of you? We're drawn to haunted places like the farm because they remind us of things we can't control or explain. Some see it as just an abandoned property, a relic of a family's sad story. But others believe there's more to it, that the grief, love, and sorrow left a mark so deep, it created something beyond our understanding. Imagine standing in that farmhouse with shadows stretching across the floor and the silence pressing in around you. Could you tell yourself it's all in your head, that there's nothing to fear? Or would you start to feel the weight of the past, the tragedy that still lingers, just as real as if it were yesterday? These are the places that make us wonder. What if the energy of those who came before us is still here? What if certain places hold on to memories, waiting to share their story? Would you be brave enough to spend a night in a place like this, knowing the history, the mystery, or would the fear be too much? If this story kept you on edge, make sure to subscribe to Shadow Stories. We explore the mysteries of the past, tales that blur the line between what's real and what lingers in the shadows. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the farm is haunted, or is it simply a place shaped by tragedy? And if given the chance, would you explore it yourself, or would you rather stay away? Thank you for watching Shadow Stories, where we dive into history's darkest tales and uncover the secrets that refuse to stay hidden. Join us next time as we unravel more mysteries that leave us wondering, could there be more to the world than what we see? Until then, remember, some places hold on to the past, and in the silence, you just might hear it calling to you. Based on true stories, The Haunted Farm is a tale of loss, love, and the unknown. What would you do if you found yourself face to face with history's shadows? Subscribe, like, and join us as we uncover more secrets that may still walk among us.